mean, I like how on the script it says, is it centered? Is it actually? This is multitasking on a whole new level.
Oh, I'm so stressed.
Are you?
That noise was stressing me out so much.
Oh, I've just moved over. Am I?
You're in centre this one, right? I'm going to put this right here because I have no idea what we're talking about.
You love it.
Welcome to The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available. Yep, the name we wanted wasn't available.
Oh, sorry, it's actually me. Yeah. So, okay, so for full context, full disclosure. So we're both quite busy and we wanted to stay very consistent, obviously for multiple reasons. So we decided to batch create a few episodes, right? Well, apparently that's taboo, a thing to say. But anyway, we're doing it and we're going to tell you that we did it so that you don't feel duped when you find out that that's what we do. So we're batch creating a few episodes. That's what I say.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. But also taboo, as in taboo, you're not meant to tell people, or taboo to do that at all.
To do that, I think people are like, oh, but then it's not. You didn't film that every week. You tricked us.
Well, you heard it here first. You've not been tricked.
You've been
because we've been honest.
You're in the secrets now.
So if you don't like it,
don't say things like that.
Not really a problem. Anyway, so
great. So episode 2, if you don't like it, leave. Is basically.
No, actually stay because we really want to see how far this can grow. But anyway, so yeah, we actually finished last week's episode approximately 7 minutes ago.
Yeah.
We just had a loo break. We're actually running a little bit off schedule because, well, we struggled to get into the studio this morning and then we were battling with the drilling, as you will have heard in the last episode.
It was fun.
But anyway, we were very hyped coming up with the name for the podcast, which... We were okay, so we were going to get... Were you asleep? He did actually just say that he was tired.
I was so zoned out. The name. So we had the list of names.
Do you need a tens then?
I will have one in a minute. I should have one.
Okay.
Look at this. Hear this.
And this.
They're both British companies. Isn't that cute? Don't know why that's really cute, but
yeah, it is cute.
Sorry. Anyway,
so yeah, we were very excited to come up with a name, and there was one that we actually really did love, which was
From Scratch was what we were liking a lot.
Yeah.
I actually, although I didn't show enthusiasm, I did enjoy it considerably.
Yeah, and it again, we're not here to lie to you. We have actually been pondering the name From Scratch for a while. We didn't want to bank on it because we did actually want to hear your guys' thoughts. But From Scratch we were still toying with. However, to get the name locked in.
Yeah, the domain was like, it was a lot, as like you were saying in the last episode. Domains are a lot if they just are gone for no reason. I don't even think it's used, is it?
No, so the domain From Scratch was actually about £2,000 for us to buy, which is money that we were not willing to spend, quite frankly. And that was without the fees of going through a broker.
Yeah, that's a lot. So we just scrapped that because £2,000 for a website. Episode 2.
Yeah.
It seemed a bit wild.
Even for us.
Actually. Yeah. It seemed a bit like, it's a bit out there. So
so we went with Holly and Lewis.
We've got that
for the domain.
Already.
And we have stuck our social channels, as you know, at The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available. You will now understand the reason it's called that, because we really wanted From Scratch, but it literally was not available. Yeah. Even .co went up by about £3,000 within the 5 minutes that I was trying to buy it. So really it was not meant to be. Anyway, so we needed to get the social media handles. We did that.
Even the socials as well, right? Like, what was it? Holly and Lewis were gone.
Yeah.
Our names.
Oh, true.
There was like 10 different variations of Holly and Lewis this, Holly and Lewis that, Holly and Lewis something else.
I forgot about that, but you're right, because we were going to put that as the...
yeah, and it was like Holly and Lewis like 264 or something that we could have, and that was just unacceptable for our dedicated fan base to have to type in Holly and Lewis and some numbers. Unacceptable. So the name we wanted wasn't available seemed like a much easier thing for you to type.
Can I just point out, and I'm going to do this after this episode, I actually don't know who has Holly and Lewis, because I had this issue with Full of Sass. So Full of Sass, thankfully, was available on everything, right? But because I was purchasing it on everything and making like the handles on all social platforms, some snarly little bot went and bought Full of Sass on Instagram. Still hate you. Still think about you. You still irk me.
If you're listening, continue to listen.
I'm talking about the bot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the bot's
No.
the person, no, the robot. Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
because companies can
If you're a
actually
bot and you're
buy it.
listening, you can teach to listen as well. You run those numbers up.
Anyway, so I, on Instagram, have to have full of sass _
Yeah.
It actually disgusts me. Anyway, no one go to that channel because I'm actually using my Holly Louise UGC account at the
Holly
moment, so it's
Louise.
actually low-key irrelevant, but
Yes.
the story's still the same. Anyway, we've gone so far off topic.
We have. So the name we wanted wasn't available, is what we've gone with on Instagram and TikTok. Was the name wasn't available?
Yeah, because of the characters.
Because of the characters. We thought that'd be easier for you to type in. I'm going to be honest, I've typed it wrong a good couple of times myself. When we got the name, as also just a caveat, was it almost immediately suspended because for some reason they
It
thought.
was just immediately.
Oh, we went straight from we have that like Instagram handle. That's the word, isn't it?
Yeah.
God, I'm so old.
No,
We
but
have
that's
that
correct.
handle.
Yeah.
You're suspended. So I don't know what happened with that. I'm pretty sure it's up.
Because they thought that we were
Ryan.
spamming.
Yeah. So, lesson learned: if you pick a stupid name, the internet won't accept it as real. They'll think you're a bot. And as
I
you can
respect
see,
it, to be fair, for like trying to keep it a safe space, but it was really
Yeah.
funny. It was
I
fun.
guess.
Anyway, so
Yeah,
welcome
stress.
to The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available. You're lying.
Good.
The podcast hosted by...
We're actually doing an intro. Sorry, start again.
Yeah, because you said this is still... Oh my God, this is still the intro.
Yeah, I just realised. I
Anyway,
genuinely
fine.
realised.
Okay. So look, welcome to The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available.
The podcast hosted by Holly and Lewis, where we talk all things. Took business out of this one. Now I took it out.
Oh, thank
It's gone
goodness
now.
for that. Besties
Creative solopreneurship.
and boss babes building businesses from the ground up.
You could say from scratch.
Oh, I wish we could.
I thought you were going to hate that so much.
I do,
You-
but
okay.
I rolled with it for you. Anyway, if this is your first time listening, you can catch us with audio every Wednesday and visuals every Saturday.
Got it right. And make sure you follow us on all socials and all And make sure you follow us on all socials and all platforms at The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available, or The Name Wasn't Available, because that's TikTok. And what platforms are we on? Because I'm not.
We are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and I guess Spotify.
Spotify, all of the regular podcasty places, and YouTube. That's where the videos will be.
Well, anyway, so that was almost
Maybe.
the perfect introduction.
So
Sorry, I took your line.
no. That was that.
Anyway, in today's episode, the main thing that we are going to be discussing is consistency.
Yes. So we're going to be looking at the different types of consistency, techniques to stay consistent, and what to do if you have periods of inconsistency because,
It happens, right?
Yeah.
So consistency can mean different things to different people, and it sure has meant different things to us at different times. So I think maybe it would be a good idea to just dive into what consistency means for us.
Right. So consistency, the quality of always behaving or performing in a similar way, or of always happening in a similar way.
Why did you read that like you were a spelling bee? I'm sorry, I didn't realise I became a teacher and you became 12 again. Was that also the dictionary definition?
I thought you'd enjoy that.
I'm
so glad that
like
you
a spelling
didn't
bee.
read the script because I left things in that I knew would actually annoy you. It was so weirdly written. Oh, yeah, that was Google. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the robot.
Well, like
What
your
did you Google?
laptop Google.
No, my laptop, not ChatGPT's robot, the laptop's robot. Your laptop.
You're obsessed with that, aren't you? Do you just speak to it now?
I can speak to it, yes, I believe. I don't. I can. It actually has a voice. I
Does
set
it
the
talk
voice
back
back.
to
You
you?
can get it to do that, yeah.
So you can have a conversation
You
with it.
can.
I would love that.
No, it's a
You'd
bit
get
weird.
less talk time if I could talk to my
That's
laptop.
true.
Let's be real, you wouldn't want that to happen ever, would you really? Don't
No.
answer that. Okay, so
A hostage.
I'm sorry. Just to go back to the fact I actually have not read this script. I'm incredibly confused at why Lewis has written Holly says, okay, he doesn't, but Holly's line, what's your actual human boy definition of consistency? What as if you're like a human?
Because I'm a
lion?
human boy.
What is
Sorry,
your human?
what's your issue with human boy? I'm a human boy. I'm a real boy. I'm not Pinocchio.
Sorry, the fact that you refer to yourself as a human boy, are you Pinocchio?
No, I'm not. That's my point. I'm not.
Okay, anyway, could you please tell us what your actual human normal
boy.
person
My human boy.
definition is?
So consistency. That's what we took. Yeah. Jesus, what have I even got written down in this? I didn't write that. I haven't actually really. Consistency is lots of different things with lots of different people. It can be involved in multiple different ways, looking at what is consistency and how you can keep consistent in different formats, I guess you would put it. I feel like I've just worded the same question back to myself twice.
You 100% have, and also, it's what does it mean to you?
Oh, okay. It's just being like, you just vibing. Sorry, let me be serious because Holly's actually going to get so mad. I've said vibing a lot today. So, what consistency means to me is continuing to do something throughout. So I have lots of periods that people would say I'm very inconsistent with certain things, such as social media and releasing content. I would then caveat that with the consistency I would say is useful, and what it means to me is, just keep it going.
Sorry, do you want people to fall asleep?
I don't know what I'm saying.
Oh my lord. Okay,
I have no. I wrote the answer. I wrote no answer for myself.
You absolutely did. So, as per Lewis's notes, what consistency meant to him at the time of writing was consistency when it comes to releasing music, consistency in terms of whether you're releasing that music every 2 weeks, every 6 months. Consistency with skill stacking. He wants to consistently be learning, to be upskilling himself, to be able to offer more into his Sycamore tree of business ideas. And I think that's enough for your consistency.
That's what I wrote. And it didn't make sense when I was reading it now, so I just filibustered for a while. So enjoy that.
Tragic. Anyway, but this will mostly take us into the concept of batch creating, which we have obviously done in today's episode. So I'm going to skip over your line.
No, I'm going to go straight with my line, and I'm going to put you on the spot now. So can you define what batch creation means in terms of social media marketing and content, Holly Louise?
Yes, I can. So in terms of content and the world in which I live, batch creation is creating a multitude of content. It could be short form, long form, photos, anything you like. Podcasts. You basically spend like a set amount of time. I would typically recommend 3 to 5 hours creating yourself a library, a bank. I don't have any other words to describe that same thing. A catalogue of content that you can consistently refer back to remain consistent on your channels. Depending where you're at within your journey, you can subsequently pre-schedule that content so you actually don't have to worry about posting for a set amount of time. Alternatively, you may look at creating content that is somewhat neutral so that you always have a library of content available to you to overlay the relevant point that you're wanting to make at that moment in time.
That was very well done, I'll be honest. I even feel bad about the way.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So you do a lot of batch creation. I actually do some batch creation, guys. I know I said that I didn't. I actually do kind of do some batch creation myself.
In what?
In everything. I have so many things. I've got batches. I've got music stuff. We're ready to go. Hard drives full of just song hit after hit after hit. Club anthem. I'm not allowed to release them all the time, but we actually do batch creations. The way I batch create is actually very different to the way that you batch create.
Yes.
Mine's very spur of the moment. It's on a day that I'll find some inspiration, or a week or a month. I'll spend a month deep diving into music and spend an entire month doing nothing else apart from making music, and then having that as a catalogue that when I forget to release music and when I forget to put out content, I have something to just go, oh yeah, I did all of this stuff. So it's a lot less calculated. It's a lot more random and not as well thought out.
Do you know, I actually have mixed feelings about this because I would say that I'm somewhat similar. I do not have a scheduled or set time of a week where I will sit and batch create. what I do is I tend to take what we would call B-roll from projects and collaborations that I have going on, and I will just cut up that footage sporadically to make myself like a set of reels.
Oh, that's so clever.
Yeah.
So this is a full realization moment.
I know.
I film new stuff every single time and then get overwhelmed with how much I need to film, edit, preset. And then
that's
it's like,
why I
and
don't
it
do
doesn't
that.
get done. And then it's like, oh, I've got that just in the bank somewhere, but
Yeah.
I'll never look at it again, potentially.
That's why I don't do that, because it is overwhelming. And also, it's very overwhelming having to come up with all new ideas all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're using content, if you're using B-roll from projects you've already done, first of all, it's relevant because it's what you're currently working on. It's free promotion to the people that you've worked with. It is also free testament to the fact that you're working with people, and so other brands can see that you're currently active. And additionally, you can layer your thoughts on top of your business experience. So you've kind of killed two birds with one stone unintentionally. And it's just quicker, faster, easier.
4 birds with one stone.
Yeah.
You just, all of them.
Yeah, crack
Whole
around the
tree
head.
done. Yeah. Whole family.
Yeah, so that's what I do for batch creation. I find it really, really hard. If I've set a day that I'm going to batch create, best believe I will create absolutely nothing, and I will probably just look at everything that everyone else is doing and feel really bad about myself and compare my content and think that the world is against me. So I tend to go down the road of, if I'm in a nice place, if I'm doing a nice activity, if I've got something going on, I'll just film randomly with absolutely no intention of what I'm going to use it for, and I will find a use for
stressful.
it. Yeah. But it's less stressful than going, I really need to make content today, and having a creator's block.
Oh, okay, yeah, this makes sense. So actually, to caveat from that, we've both literally just said that we just create randomly batch creations as we go. We are batch creating right now, in a very, very unrandom manner. This was very like, oh, we booked the studio, we got the equipment here, we're both here. It's whatever day of the Friday the 13th.
Oh, unlucky.
Oh yeah, we thought a good day to start, Friday the 13th. Well, hey, clever. But we actually are batch creating for this podcast, as we both do a lot of creative ventures and we both run businesses. It's hard for us to find time. Like we speak quite a lot about business things, but it's hard for us to actually find a time where we are in the same place and have a dedicated amount of time to create. So we thought for something like this, we want to give obviously everyone listening and viewing actual information. So we just want to wing it.
And also, a point that we haven't covered with batch creation is that the good and the bad to batch creation is this. When you batch create and you find a formula that works for your social media and subsequently tracks the algorithm, batch creating that style of content can be fantastic, because then you can remain with that consistent growth. However, the thing with batch creation is if you make a bad batch, fundamentally it's a waste of time. And with the algorithm constantly changing, you want to make enough that you can test the content that you're producing, but not so much that it goes in the bin if you find that it was a complete and utter flop.
Yeah.
Hence why we are only batch creating 3 episodes today, to give you guys the opportunity
to love it.
To absolutely love it. But also for us to test the editing process, to test how we like the lighting, how we like certain structures towards this podcast, and also amend as we go along. It's also a miracle that we're actually even in the same country, let alone in the same room.
Oh yeah, this is
so.
Doesn't happen that much.
Now we can move on to subtopic 2.
Outbounding. So in terms of consistency, yes. So batch creation is one way to keep consistent.
Yeah.
You have a consistent vibe, all your stuff is ready to go and da. Another thing that is really, really difficult, I'd say, actually, as a small business owner, is outbounding. Now,
you do pass it to me.
I actually was about to try and describe it and realised I don't know how to describe it and thought, have I written that I describe what outbounding is stupid? No.
I was really excited to see.
Did you see that absolute panic for a minute? Like, I really only learnt what outbounding is possibly within this year. Like, it's been something that Holly just chucks at me. Oh, you're not outbound. No, I'm inbounding. I've never worked in corporate. I don't know the words that are used. I just do what I
And you
think
know
is
some of them
correct.
now. Don't discredit yourself.
Yeah, you throw them at me and I just hope for the best.
Absolutely.
So we're going to pass it over because Holly was running outbound in functions. That's the right term, right?
Yes. No, you are actually correct. He's not lying.
Running outbound in functions for
I mean,
pretty...
with some pretty wonderful people, but
yeah.
yes.
So we should
Outbound,
try to
okay,
explain.
so in sales, you have two channels on how you generate/receive leads. If you are outbounding, you are actively going after businesses, customers, clients who you believe would be a good fit for your business. Inbounds are people who have already decided that they think they could be a good fit for your business or are interested in the service or product that you're offering and subsequently approach you first. In our case, we would expect as a small business to be doing a fair amount of outbound work just based on the fact that we're new. Unfortunately, as much as we like to believe we are significantly relevant people, as of yet, we're not quite Alan Sugars. We will be one day, you heard it here first, but our businesses fundamentally do require for us to go out and put our name about. I tend to do most of that via social selling and social media. Lewis hates that with a passion and will troll the concept until the day that he dies, and I will continue to moan to him about it. So outbounding can be done in several different ways. Traditional methods are cold calling, emailing, and back in the day of the yellow pages, potentially writing letters to people.
Knocking out some doors, giving out some
Exactly
handshakes.
that.
Nice
Completely
to meet
correct.
I'm old.
However, what is becoming increasingly more popular now is a concept called social selling. And you will see this typically on LinkedIn. I'd say LinkedIn is one of the most underrated platforms, in my opinion, for business people. However, outbounding consistency, you take over.
Outbounding consistency, yes. So as Holly mentioned, you do a lot of social outbounding with your consistent output of just content and getting people to come to you. Now, as I see the value, I really do. I'm an old man, and I just can't vibe social media. I like the word vibe today, so that's happening. Yeah, I just can't. I don't know. It's just a lot for me to be continuously just doing stuff to put videos out. So I actually spend a lot of my outbounding time on email, which I recently found out. I don't know if this is everyone's Outlook, but my Outlook stopped me after 20 emails the other day because it thought I was a bot. Now, I know the AI helps a lot and the robots help a lot, but now it's encroaching on I can't work as much as I want because it thinks I'm a robot. So I got 20 emails. 20 emails is all I can send on a day, apparently. So
bizarre.
I know, it took me like a week to go through this list of 100 emails of people I wanted to reach out to. Anyway, with consistency, I find the struggle is mainly when you run a small business, you spend so much time doing what the business does that you often forget to outbound, or you don't have the time to outbound. I don't know if you feel this. I mean, you do a lot of social outbound as well, but I don't know if you feel the same. Like, whenever you get busy periods of work, you outbound for so long, as I say, like 100 emails in a week. A lot got back. It was a very busy period of work, which then meant I couldn't outbound anymore, which then you sort of get sort of really big like dips and ebbs and flows.
Ebbs and flows.
Dips and ebbs.
I like it. Okay, let's keep it.
This is why the robot helps me when I'm doing stuff at home. You get such like ebbs and flows within like busy to absolute non-busy, and then non-busy is just racking your brain of admin and who you can reach out to and outbound to again. I don't know if you feel the same.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
No.
However, because I disagree with what you're saying. What I would say is the biggest hindrance for myself is I've actually been quite fortunate that all of my business, bar one opportunity, has actually been inbound, which is nice, right? Like, let's be real, that does not happen very often.
No,
I hope it continues like that.
This is because the socials, though.
And that's what I was going to say.
Social queen, absolutely killing it.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, my fear comes in because rather than actually directly reaching out to brands, because I'm consistent with my social media, I think it is easier for other people to find me.
Yeah.
And that means that brands who have already worked with me are coming back as retainers, so I'm not necessarily seeking new business, which is nice because I'm constantly working for similar
Retainers
people.
are really nice, yeah.
They are. But also, if I'm busy, it means I'm not posting as consistently, which then means my visibility drops.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, it's the same as what you're describing, but just in like a different type of way, because for me it's really important to keep that content up so that people can continue to be finding me, so that I don't have to sit and necessarily pitch every day. In an ideal world, I would be pitching to a minimum of 10 brands a day, which is going to sell for all of my salesy people who are watching. If you've made it here, you will know that's a very low number.
That sounded big to me, I'm going to be honest. I was like 10 a day, every day. I've got things to do.
They are minor numbers, but honestly, like, it has to sit there because I would be so over. I mean, as you know, I'm overcapacitated at the moment. So that would take me to a whole new level of overcapacitated that I actually don't think there would be enough minutes, hours in the day to breathe.
Probably not.
So yeah, consistency for me is definitely posting and keeping that content up, relevant, and being on top of those iterations. For you, you are going down the email route, which I hope to convert you from one day.
I have the socials. It's just.
I've even offered to do them for him.
Yeah, it's just.
And he's still not on board. I did create him a whole Notion page.
Will have consistency. So the name that we wanted wasn't available. You will see consistency, and it's not actually my department. So I'm saying like, I will give you consistency.
He will consistently be allowing me to take the reins.
I will consistently.
Anyway,
messages.
before we bore,
shall I do this? Yes, I shall.
Yeah, you will. Anyway, before we bore everyone to tears, should we jump into subtopic 3?
Subtopic 3.
Very quickly.
I'm pretty sure you already covered. To be honest. Consistency across your brand and consistency.
Oh, I love this one. Sorry, I do.
She loves this one. So
I do, because it's the one I've had to learn the most about. Sorry, you take it away.
No. That wasn't that. I was waiting for you to just.
Oh, okay. Because this is the thing.
Exert.
So Lewis titled it "Consistency and Creativity," and this one is the key to it all. If there is anything that you can be consistent with, it is be consistent with your actual brand image. So your color palette, your aesthetics, your tone of voice, things that are important to you. The reason this is so important is because it's what makes you recognizable. If you only have the capacity to post once a week, that is fine. As long as it's one post a week of high value in a recognizable fashion on the right platforms. By right platforms, I mean owning the platforms that you want to dominate with your content, so that people know when to expect you to show up. People know how to recognize your stories in amongst like the whole bar of different stories that people will troll through. You will make significantly more impact than just posting this, then that, then the other, and then switching your colours up and dark mode today and neon tomorrow, which is what Lewis does, which is why I end up calling him and saying, why the bleep, 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 bleep explicit, have you posted this? And he says to me,
oh, no,
felt like it.
That is literally it.
The most famous one that you probably won't even remember doing this, but Lewis was flying to, would have been Sweden.
I remember posting
at something like 6 a.m. No, it would have been earlier actually. I think you were catching the 6 a.m. flight.
It was crazy early.
So it was crazy early. I'm up pottering about as I normally do. And Lewis has posted a story that says, catching flights, not feelings. For context, he was on his way to see his beautiful girlfriend, Natasha. Okay, we had actually just called her Tasha. That's why I went for the full government name there. But he's on his way to see Tasha, and I'm like, as if you've just posted catching flights, not feelings, on the way to see your girlfriend, of which in his music he speaks relentlessly about his passion and love for his Miss Sweden. And I said, are you high?
It was in a song.
Everyone knows the cliche saying.
It was in a song, that was it. It was in my headphones. Catch flights, not feelings.
But the point is it wasn't relevant and it was not on brand. And Lewis was made aware of that at 5:30 a.m. and promptly removed it before I actually exploded in my
I do
home.
remember this. This was...
Anyway, so yes, that's all I want to say. Tone of voice, colours, and just ensuring, especially on platforms like Instagram more so than TikTok, that your feed aesthetic shows consistency, shows a consistent journey, shows a consistent color palette, shows consistent fonts. It will get you very, 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 very far.
It will get you inbounds.
It will.
It is what
And
we're
it
hearing,
does.
as opposed to having to outbound like an old man like me.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to go back and change reel covers and use Pinterest to support your posts. I totally appreciate that not everyone has the aesthetic in their home that they may desire, but actually, what's our podcast called? The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available. We have had nothing until today. This is our first day of actually being in a place at all to make content for this. And
our first time being together.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a while. Yeah.
But as you will see, there are ways to caveat that through Canva, Pinterest, to make these things work. And maybe in another episode, we can talk about tips and tricks around that.
Of course, yes, it is doable. It does take time. I'll be honest. Like it's not easy.
No.
Like, a lot of time goes into. I know, like you make it look very easy. A lot of time does go into it. But it is, as someone who doesn't do it, whenever I do it, you can really see the difference. Like whenever it is very noticeable. I'd say I do it more within my music stuff than I do with Sycamore Studios.
I'd agree.
And I do get like message to perform at places as opposed to having to reach out as much now. It is a big difference. So it's not just these are true tried and tested methods. These are not just nonsense off from a book, right? This is it's a lived experience at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And when you are managing multiple accounts, there is a lot of pressure on that as well. And I know that there is a lot of benefit to creating a specifically devised strategy for each channel. And I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes it is just not possible. As lovely as it would be lovely to win the lottery. It just doesn't happen. So don't be afraid to reuse content, reformat content, take the pieces that work. Each algorithm is different and you can make something work from every piece of content you create. I firmly believe that. And as I said, we've tried, we've tested it. And as soon as you get your head around the fact that everything is effectively content, batch creation comes easier, creating becomes easier, learning what you like becomes easier, and it all results in your audience telling you what they like too, which is the best and biggest indicator we can possibly have.
Yes. So with that being said, we urge you to tell us what you like. Don't tell us what you don't like, because...
I like that one.
The podcast.
Oh.
Sorry, I was just caveating. I was caveating to wrap up the episode because...
I was going to go for my line, which was, I felt like this was more of a therapy session than a podcast.
Oh. And the
DMC thing, but we can tell them about that another time. I like your ending. Go with yours.
I forgot. I've not been looking at these scripts. I'll be honest, it's really bad.
Good.
Like when you start talking, I listen and then I'm like.
We've also got to wrap up.
Yeah, so that was the caveat.
Fundamentally, do follow Lewis's instruction and do let us know what you think.
What do you think? Yeah.
Let us know.
Listen.
Let us know if you have any opinions on batch creation, content creation. If there are any questions that you would like answered, they could be tips and tricks around creating content, editing content, and different styles of content. Drop us an email at contact@hollyandlewis.com. We've almost got that.
Yeah.
I'm really excited because I get to do my random fact.
Okay. Oh yeah. Go on. Go on. Sorry.
Okay. Did you know?
No.
No, you are not going to know this. I really hope you don't. Okay. Did you know that the snow in Home Alone, the movie, is actually shredded potato?
No, I didn't. Why potato? That's so random. That is so weird.
Isn't it? I heard that's a random fact on the radio the other day. I thought, that's a good.
That's a good one. You actually did. I've got a really random fact. Let's save it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really weird. Yeah, I don't know if I like that though. That's creepy. I don't know why. There's something. What?
Something.
Visceral.
What does that mean? Isn't that like a vein?
No, that's.
Vein. Vascular.
That's vascular. Yeah.
I just imagine it being really slimy.
Yeah, it's like. Why would you do that?
Don't know. And imagine like that falling in your head, and then you get in the shower and all you forgot is shredded potato in your hair.
Oh, I guess it's like maybe it clings to you better. I don't know. That's.
Also, it's confusing that it's not like a white colour. Like
it's like yellowy.
Right?
Yeah, it says like it's yellowy and it's like sticky.
Yuck.
So that's random fact of the week. That
It was
makes me
indeed.
feel a bit nasty. I want to be honest. It's like messed with my skin a bit.
Yeah, fine. Well, let's head on to the outro because we've got another episode to film
Yeah.
in
Okay. Sorry.
30 minutes on the dot.
So you ready for this?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available.
We hope you find our unfiltered conversations useful.
Keep building, keep dreaming, and stay amazing.
I'm sorry, but you cut business out of the intro and you did not cut that line.
I'm keeping that.
That is
my favourite bit.
going.
That's my. What is that?
I'm sorry, absolutely not. Anyway, don't forget to follow us at The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available on Instagram and YouTube. For now, it will be The Name Wasn't Available on TikTok until we get a better name or more characters.
And if you do want to discuss anything, or if you want to just get in touch and tell us how amazing I am, please feel free to drop us an email at contact@hollinlewis.com. We really do want your. I feel like a proper host at the end. We really do want your opinions. And your perspective, even if you just want to drop us a message and just say, what's up? What's up, beautiful people?
Anyway. Bye, guys! Thank you! Mwah! Ah, you missed him on.
So, bye!
Piddly beep, piddly beep, piddly beep. You love it.